Where am I?
What's up, gamers? It's ya fellas. Welcome to Bad Boy Crimes. This is a landmark episode, one of the biggest episodes to ever come out of this show.
What makes it so special?
It's episode 69, baby.
Woo! Yeah!
We did it. The weed number.
When I was a bingo caller back in college, we would do the different. Well, I didn't get paid. I was also the one like running the whole thing in addition to just being the guy calling the numbers. But we would, do little fun, not puns, but like kind of, I guess puns. I don't know what else to call it. Little bits,
like
for
wordplay on each, like N95, like the mask, folks.
Yeah, we do stuff like that.
I didn't plan that. I just said N95 and realized that was a thing.
Yeah. Like I do B12, like the vitamin,
Take your vitamins, folks.
or before and after. Yeah. But then for 69, we just go, you'd really draw, I don't want to like scream into the mic because that would be rude for the audience, but you'd really scream, draw out the O, yell 69, and everybody's like loses their shit. And I'm like, guys, this happens like every 20 minutes.
But it's sick every time.
It's so sick. People love it, man.
We
You have to do like stupid tiebreaker games.
How do you can tie in bingo?
Yeah, because we'd have prizes and there'd be like tiers of prizes. So, you'd have if there's only one prize in that specific tier for that type of bingo, because we wouldn't just be doing 5 in a row. Like as you go up into the tiers, it gets progressively harder because the final tier is obviously blackout, right?
Sure.
And
very familiar.
Which is where you fill out the entire board.
Gotcha.
And we'd give away like a Wii U or something because this was back.
That's sick.
And like nowadays, being a person with the Wii U, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I could have played all those Switch games about 5 years before everyone else did.
Yeah. Switch Sports. Get into it.
I'm probably not going to buy it, but it looks like it's fun. The new Wii Sports, but it's for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I might buy it.
Does it have online play?
I have no idea.
If it did, I would maybe get it because I could play it with the sweetie and then also play it with the fellows on the internet. Or both. Maybe at the same time. I don't know.
I feel like they have to have online, but
it's Nintendo, so it's like I'm like, does it have online?
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be also the shittiest online ever conceived. There's no way of knowing.
Yeah. You know how like if Earth was 10 meters closer to the sun, we would all burn to death, and if it was 10 meters further away, we'd all freeze to death, but like because it's exactly where it is, we can grow wheat and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the Goldilocks zone of Wii Sports. Like I was born at the exact right time to play Wii Sports.
That was such a phenomenon, man. And like I remember, because like first of all, getting a Wii when they first came out was impossible.
Yep.
Which I think is a little silly, like it's not that fucking cool.
It was pretty sick. It was very out there at the time.
It was.
There was no motion
cool.
Controls.
Yeah.
I remember being very upset about the motion controls.
Why were you upset?
Because I'm not Harry Potter, right? I'm not trying to do a switch and flick.
Sure. Yeah, you're not Harry Potter.
When I'm playing a video game, when I press the A button, I know what's going to happen. I have pressed the A button. But when I
Many
do like
times,
a motion, not always consistent.
That's true. It can be a little dicey. I'll give you
Mhm.
that.
And when you're playing video games, you kind of want that consistency of I know when I'm going to jump. I know when I'm going to turn left in Mario Kart 8.
I hate. I don't know how many games you play this where like they will like cue in inputs. So if you're like hitting buttons while like your guy is say dodge rolling, the game will remember what you're doing. So even by the time you finish and you're not pressing anything, you might have hit the dodge button twice because you're like, well, I really need to dodge, so I'm going to just hit it twice. But it's like, well, because you hit it twice, your guy's going to dodge twice, even though you don't necessarily really want to do that. This is about Elden Ring.
That. Yeah, I've never experienced that. That sounds like it sucks.
I think it's designed to like make it so that you're not like if you're going to be a scared little baby, you have to deal with the consequences. Or if you're smart, you can like queue up attacks while you're doing other things. But man, I'm just trying to get out of the way. And so I'm like, well, if I hit dodge twice in the span of one dodge roll, that means I'll dodge more. And the game's like, you asked for it.
All your stamina.
Dude,
your green.
My green is so it could be higher, but like it's pretty high. Let me tell you,
it's off the charts, but like barely.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's it's like you should have just changed the scale slightly. It would have been fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sounds like it's too big brain for me, especially as like a masher.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily like button mashing during the game, but when I have any downtime, like if you're running a long distance, I'm pressing every button. I'm jumping. I'm doing
everything. Of course. Yeah, if you're running around in a game, like obviously you're just going to jump while you're running because like you want to do something.
You want to do something. So like if I'm dodge rolling and I have like 1 second, I'm just going to be pressing buttons.
Yeah, that's how you're going to like blow through all your healing if you're doing that in Dark Souls. Shoot, I had a thought, but it evaporated. As it normally does. Dude, I'm on such a weird Yu-Gi-Oh kick recently.
You bad.
I go on these kicks and they last like a month, and then I go off of them for a year, and then they come back and I'm
longer.
It should be forever.
Yeah,
but they come back, man. I don't know. It's just like I bought a deck and it has like lore, and now I'm like really I'm invested in this fucking lore.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, oh, I want to buy more cards.
Is it still Exodia?
Oh, that's like
20 years old.
That's not even a good strat. Like you can't even use Exodia competitively. Because I also read about this now, even though I have no intention of playing competitively or spending like the $200 required to like make a deck that works. I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But ooh, little lunch on the stream. And on the stream, I mean on the podcast, because it's in the stream. Oh, there we go. We got some kind of noodle with a bunch of vegetables in it.
Yep. Zucchini and corn.
Yeah.
That's ideal, I think.
What is? Zucchini and corn?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's disappeared.
Nope.
She's still here. Anyway.
We got a wave. I got a wave that you guys didn't, because this is a audio only format. Who watches a podcast, folks?
Truly one of the dumbest ideas of all time.
It really is. It's so popular, and we mentioned this before, but it's like, if you're not doing something else while you're listening to a podcast, you're stupid. And unfortunately, if you're watching a podcast, you can't do anything else.
You could put it on a TV while you are on an exercise bike. A real motivational tool.
I guess that's valid, but I don't know if that's...
Just watch Bag Fries while you get your cardio in.
Is that the Kevin Tinkin podcast?
It is.
I love Kevin Tinkin.
I'm aware.
Yeah, I have very strong positive feelings about Kevin Thinking.
Yeah,
As I do with everybody. I have positive feelings.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I am neutral to negative on KT.
Really?
Uh-huh. He left me on red when I invited him on the podcast.
Yeah, people like leaving you on red.
It's true. It's quite rude.
See, I just don't reach out to people, so
I know. It makes my job a lot harder.
well, like I could get Daniel probably.
Yeah.
He at least would not leave me on red. We might just start talking about something else and then both
You left me
forget
on
it.
red after already being on the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a busy guy. He has people to visit like me.
It's true. He did visit you.
It was a good hang, man.
Apparently, you discussed a lot.
We discussed a few things.
You want to go into detail? You want to dox any of the
Any of the hot
confidential-
goss? Not really. I mean, I don't know. We talked about.
The NSA is on break, I guess.
Well, my cousin. Well, I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
Divulged a little bit of hot goss by accident.
No. No, we talked about both of our podcasts and just kind of talked about
He has a
various-
podcast?
Daniel.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's called Doom Scroll.
I never get past the cold open in the theme song.
I think I did mention that.
You should
Briefly.
you should be aware if he's a fan, as he claims to be.
Of us.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he listens to podcasts.
Not even that episode with Nick,
No.
with young Nicholas. All right. That's fine, Daniel. I see how it is.
Yeah, we spoke about Nick. We spoke about Isaac. Only positive things to say, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Big fans of both of those guys.
Yeah. Love.
What have you been up to?
Work. Yeah, dude, not a lot, man. Which I hate. It's like I hate having like a 9-to-5 job and like living a very normal life. 'Cause it's like, yeah, I just sort of hang out, kind of just do
Yeah.
stuff.
Just kind of exist for a little bit, and then you're like, I have to be interesting. I haven't been interesting for a decade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I live a very normal life and it's nice. I've been getting back into Elden Ring, which has been
I saw.
it's fine.
Yeah. I saw a doctor today.
No, what was up with the doctor?
He was a chill guy.
Yeah,
He liked my shirt. Complimented me.
yeah.
He swore, which was interesting.
Love it when a doctor swears. You're like, oh yeah, you're a cool doctor.
He is a
Much
cool
like Dr. John Koch. One
Dr.
of the coolest,
John Koch.
one of the coolest doctors we've ever had.
You know who's not a cool doctor?
The good doctor.
The creator of Brad's Drink, Caleb.
Oh yeah. No, the
Pharmacist
good doctor
Caleb.
is cool because he fucks.
He absolutely does. I've
Dude,
never
I've been-
seen the show, but I'm aware of that.
I guarantee if you pick like a random episode after season 1, like the B plot is not like the good doctor is no longer like the main character, but he's the main character, but he's like only really exists in the B plots, and they're all about him fucking. That is so
Honestly,
funny. That is
I feel
hilarious.
like that's the life of a doctor.
Yeah.
Because as a doctor, it's kind of your role to put other people first.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a doctor, you live in the B plot of society. No doctor is the main character.
But even then, like the other like it's like there will be like somebody comes into the hospital and they need fixing, and it's like all of the other doctors are on that plot line. Meanwhile, Dr. Sean Murphy is like, I would like to have sex with my girlfriend. And that's like his plot line. And there's very little intersection. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, I like it. It's funny, but
All right.
it's apparently I mean, I think it's a comedy. I don't know. I'm not so sure if that's the intended
it's a drama series.
You know, but I think it's funny.
I'm a big fan of Freddie Highmore, though.
Dude, Freddie Highmore, he's kind of a baller.
He's kind of sick.
He kind of fucks, man.
I think he invented being named Charlie at a chocolate factory specifically.
That is funny to just be like, yeah, I'm the factory boy.
I mean, he kind of is the factory boy if you think about it.
No, don't think too hard.
Mm-hmm. You have to consistently think the correct amount. Just right in the Goldilocks zone.
The Goldilocks zone. Dude, I never think the correct amount. I'm always either wildly overthinking or not thinking at all.
Mm-hmm. I fell into that same trap about 20 years ago, and I have not gotten out of the trap yet. But
that's rough.
It's been a little too long in the trap, as they say.
Yeah.
That could be a song 6 years ago.
Long in the trap?
Yeah, too long in the trap.
What's the trap, though?
Well, that's... You know the trap. Like a trap house.
Oh. Well, what kind of traps are in this house?
Mouse traps.
Okay.
Women.
I'm not going to keep going.
That's those are the two main traps.
Do people wait? Is that an actual thing?
The trap house, yeah.
Is that about women?
No, it's about drugs.
Oh, I don't know. I was like, is that what rappers are saying, that women are traps?
No.
I'm like, are they saying that all women are traps, or are they being transphobic? But like, I feel like 5 years ago.
To do with that.
Yeah, it's not that kind. Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't say that.
Words have been said.
Words have been said, but I didn't. I mean, you could connect the dots, but who's to say that's what they're connecting to? You know, they're just dots.
They're just dots. There's no line.
Also, but that is a thing. People like that's a
yeah.
I'm not saying you should use it. I'm just saying that's a phrase, which is the bit I was trying to coax out of you earlier.
I'm aware.
Yeah, and you're like, no,
it's not happening.
Yeah.
The trap is when you're trapped in a cycle of selling drugs and not being able to get out of the hood, as it were.
Oh, that's the trap. That is a trap, man.
Yeah. So if
more of a trap than the thing I was joking about.
Absolutely.
See, that makes me woke.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone were to say that they are trapping, it means they are a drug dealer, I believe. So the trap house is where you would. It's usually like an abandoned house that you store your arsenal of narcotics.
Nice. I wish I had enough real estate to have a house and an abandoned house for all of my drugs.
I don't think you need to pay. I don't think you need to pay for the abandoned house.
Oh.
I think you should find an abandoned house.
I can't just go around finding abandoned houses. There might be drug dealers that live there.
Exactly.
Oh. That's the trap. It's the real estate market.
Ambushed. What if you canceled a drug dealer for having a trap house? And you're like, you got 2 houses, motherfucker?
Landlord much? 1% over here. That would be
good.
That's a good. There's like a making of a little sketch about that.
Just like canceling Jesse Pinkman.
No, he'd have to be the one doing the canceling. Woke Jesse Pinkman is
Woke
like,
Jesse Pinkman.
yo,
Who could
Mr.
he-
White.
He's canceling Gus.
For
This
owning
motherfucker
small
owns 4
businesses.
chicken restaurants. Yeah, that would be good.
I think that's
could
how
be-
Breaking Bad has a happy ending, is if it takes place like 10 years later and
Yeah.
Gus gets canceled.
It would be funny because he's like a public figure and he's doing all this charity.
And then of course, in response to him getting canceled, people will be like, wow, you're trying to cancel like a hardworking POC.
yeah, what's the phrase?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
like-
funny thinking about Gus like that when he is just a horrible person.
He's just a sociopath drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also
He is a hardworking POC. I mean, that is
hardworking immigrant. What is he, Guatemalan? How are you going to cancel a Guatemalan?
I think he's Venezuelan.
I think he might be Chilean.
No, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's Chilean or the actor is Chilean.
No, I think in the lore, I think the character is from. Well, shit, man, I don't know. I'm not too up on the lore.
I thought you were watching Better Call Saul.
I am, but he's not that important of a character. I mean, he is, but
Spoiler.
well, it's also very funny that Better Call Saul is the same thing. Like in season 6, there's like all this shit going down with the Salamancas and like all the drug dealers. Like that side of the show is all interconnected and like very chaotic right now. Meanwhile, like Saul's trying to pull a funny little prank on his former boss.
He's a silly guy.
He is so silly.
You know that's the guy who directed Let's Go to Prison?
I did know, I knew that actually.
Yeah.
I heard.
It's a good movie. Yeah. I think we could pull off canceling Gustavo Fring.
Yeah.
It would be funny to cancel him for like nothing. It's like he has a
health code violation.
What if he does like at Pollos Hermanos? He like has a vegan chicken option,
Mm-hmm.
and people get mad that he's gentrifying culture. Think about it.
I wish I could open up a chicken place.
Yeah, what would you call it?
I don't know, but I wish I could
Boy
open up
chicken.
like an ethnic chicken place, but I can't.
Yeah,
But I feel like they're so much better than KFC.
yeah.
And I'm limited to the KFC box of chicken places. You know what I'm saying?
As an owner,
As an owner, yeah.
as a
As a
customer,
consumer, I can eat wherever I damn well please.
that's totally fine. It's encouraged.
But I don't tell people about the cool spots I find.
No, you
I find them and I'm like, oh, I'm the only white person here? I'm not telling anybody about this.
Yeah, that's kind of how you have to live your life.
Like currently, I have this banh mi place that I've been going to. That
Yeah.
I'm the only, and I'm not saying like I fucking found, like it's next to the fucking H Mart, right? And like, I go there and I'm the only white person there, and I'm like, ah, yes, finally. Is that a Pizza Planet shirt behind you?
I do have a Pizza Planet shirt.
That's pretty sick, dude. I just got a. You're familiar with the Star Fox?
Wolf. Yeah,
Yeah, you know Wolf.
I know.
You know
Wolf.
his ship? I think it's
Yep.
called Wolfen. Yeah. I got because I had a credit on Redbubble for like $100, so I was like looking yesterday to buy some stuff because apparently all their prices went up today. I found this like Wolfen like schematic type shirt thing. It looks pretty sick. Let's see. I think I have a picture of it.
I'll look it up. While I'm looking at it, I'm not going to look it up.
I'll just send you a picture because
You're gonna
yeah.
show me. Um,
Like, I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's a cool fit.
all right. Peeping. Oh yeah. I was imagining like the blueprints of the ship, and I'm like, that's probably not that cool. This is good.
Yeah, no,
This is not schematics. It's just a picture of the ship.
Yeah, well, I couldn't. It had like
Yeah.
stuff that looked kind of like not schematic-y, but like
It's just Japanese text.
infographic-y. Yeah, it is just you know what I mean though. Like it has that vibe. You're like, no, it fucking doesn't. You're just an
It
idiot.
has the vibe of like when you freeze frame on something in a movie and in text just
It like
explain-
points to different things and says, "This is the cockpit. This is the engine. This is the guns." Like that's kind of what the vibe it has. But it looks cool. Is the point?
Yeah, it's a fun shirt.
And it's like because it's like geeky, but like not in a
In a way,
way, but not in like in a horrible way.
it's not just like a picture of Naruto's face.
Yeah, that would be bad. I would never wear that. I don't like that show.
I know you don't like that show, which is why I picked it, and not because I can't name another anime. Watch this. Shonen Jump.
Shonen, that's a magazine.
Oh, wait.
I used to buy Shonen Jump magazines just to get the Yu-Gi-Oh promo cards that would come with it.
Check this out, though.
Okay.
One Punch Man.
Yep, One Punch Man. That's a guy.
Nailed it.
One Punch Man's pretty funny.
One Piece Man. One Piece Man? Is that one?
One Piece Man.
Yeah.
There's One Piece.
Yeah.
And
One
motherfucker,
Piece.
I bet there's probably more than One Piece. With the 1,000+ episodes.
Really, honestly, where's Two Piece? Two Piece Shakur.
Don't say that because some guy on TikTok, like you've just spoken that into the ether, and there's gonna be a guy on TikTok that's gonna be his thing. He's gonna be Two Piece Shakur.
It's pretty good. Honestly, I like it. How come I like it so much if it's so bad?
Well, I don't know.
Who's to say?
I feel like I've really mastered the word economy on being rude.
To me specifically.
Well,
Practice.
I could be. The thing is I have rude things to say to other people, but like I'm
You
not
just
on
say
a
them to
level.
me instead.
Yeah, I just privately say them to you.
Folks, I have all the tea. If you want to know if he's ever said anything rude about you, let me know.
The answer is probably yes. If you have to wonder,
If he hasn't said sincerely your name is cool on this podcast, he said something rude about you in the DMs.
like, I can't even be like, well, let me think about that. I'll be like, yeah, no, it's probably
Yeah.
true.
Probably true. Even Two Piece Shakur, who does not exist yet.
No
already-
one's safe.
How good is Two Piece Shakur, though?
Not good because I know I'm thinking of the exact kind of guy who would do that, and I can't really say anything more about it without getting in trouble, so I won't. But
You're thinking of Stefan Urkel.
I don't know who that is.
You know Steve Urkel?
Yeah.
He
No, I'm not
goes in-
thinking. No, I'm not thinking.
He
Of that.
goes into a machine and turns into Stefan Urkel, a cool guy.
Really
Yeah. But he's still just like,
a loser.
he's like, he goes from a like academic nerd into like an anime dork. He doesn't
Oh.
specifically like anime, but like
That's
that
the
genre.
vibe.
That's that genre.
Like
of dork.
if anime existed as a
Yeah, just
thing
look them
back
up.
then, I'm not going to do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Hmm.
You know, Steve Urkel was not even the main conceit of the show until like season 6.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
No.
Because he's like the only thing people remember from Family Matters.
I mean, true, yeah, but well, also like he was memed on a lot, like because I never, with maybe a couple exceptions of like what, like was that on Nick at Night? Probably.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I don't think you wouldn't get that.
I never watched the show.
But like they might have had some reruns on Nick at Night, maybe.
Yeah.
And that would have been the only way I would have watched it, like on TV as a person born in '93. I think because when was that show on the air? It was probably by the time I was of age of remembering what I'm watching on TV. It probably wasn't on the air anymore, right?
89 was his first appearance, which was season 5 of the show.
Yeah.
So it's a little before our time.
Yeah. So
Both of our times,
which are
because I am a Zoomer,
well,
as noted by my T-shirt.
I think I'm kind of a Zoomer.
Mm-hmm. We're both Zoomers.
Yeah. In our own way.
Yeah. In what way is that?
Well, they're different ways.
Yeah. Can you name a single way?
I'd
Because
say for me, it's my sense of humor, and I'm not going to say the way for you.
Okay. Understood.
Because I think no matter how I slice that one, people will be mad, so I'm not going to.
People hate when you are rude to me, as evidenced by the popularity of this show.
I'm the villain. I haven't done any villainous things in a while, but I am the villain.
Yeah. That would be an interesting arc for a show. Like if Gus just like gave up on selling.
He just like chilled out for like a season and did
it's just like else. This season we're going to shut down the lab. I have a successful chicken restaurant. I don't need to do this anymore.
He really does. Like he could stop whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not. Cause like you're probably in it for life. Well, no, you can't just be like, hey, cartel, I'm done. Bye. Find somebody else.
Cartel. I guess. I don't know what he does. I've never seen the show.
He's like he's like their distribution, I think.
But he's
in Better Call Saul. Then eventually he switches over to.
Yeah. Once he has Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't need the cartel at all. And at that point, he's like, I can just wipe my hands clean. What are they going to do? Cross the border and kill him? Unlikely. Nobody does that.
At that point, like almost all of them are dead.
Yeah, exactly. He could have got out. He could have chilled out for a little bit at least. It's like, let me sell off my inventory. What does he have? Like 800 pounds of methamphetamine?
Man, I could use some
Schedule 2. For what? What are you going to use meth for?
Work, dude.
All right.
Sharpen my brain. Dude, you know how we were talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once last week? And we were both like, it's good. I mean, I was a little less hot on it than you were, but we were both like, it's good, but not like, this is the best movie.
It's a top 10 movie for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love that movie, but I understand. Like, the more I talk about it, the more problems I have, but I don't care.
Yeah. Well, because like people on like I've seen so many people who are like, this is literally the best movie I've ever seen, and I'm like, really? I just not see movies. I don't know.
I think what happened is all I watch is like Wall-E.
Yeah. You're like, man, I'm getting a lot of Wall-E vibes from this movie.
Yeah. And I haven't seen like a really good movie in a long time.
Well, I feel like this movie like suckered in a bunch of people with like the multiverse kind of angle.
Yeah, people
So like
love that.
Multiverse, I know that from Marvel. And then they like watched a movie that was like kind of a real movie, sort of.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. I guess if your media diet is like basically just superhero movies and Disney stuff, then sure, yeah, it's probably a great movie. But I don't know. I'm trying
Yeah,
not to be a snob, but I feel like
you're a bit of a snob.
I'm a bit of a snob.
I don't know. I watched Under the Silver Lake.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen that yet.
I don't know if you need to.
Is it fine?
I like it a lot. It hits a lot of the same notes as Everything Everywhere All at Once in a completely different way.
Like the
But it's a lot
nihilism angle,
it's a
or
lot of nihilism, and it's a lot of like, there's a lot of stuff going on, and like, it's very hard to care about things.
yeah.
That's like kind of what it is.
But I already lived that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, I can't do anything about like 95% of the things that are going on right now that are bugging me. So like, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's good. Like that's also like a healthy way of processing your life, right? Like
Yeah.
accepting the things you cannot change, you know?
Yeah. So I really liked it, but I don't think it's a good movie for most people.
That's so valid.
Yeah. Also, it's all white people, so like, come on,
Come on.
what are you doing? It's no Midsummer.
That's also all white people.
Yep. Is there one black?
I don't
One
know.
of-
I've never seen it.
Okay, you might like that one.
I don't think I would.
All right, don't watch it.
I don't like white women. I feel like that's a movie for white
Spoiler
women.
alert: she dies. Now, do you like it?
I don't think she does die. I know how the movie ends. I know the plot of the movie. Like,
I think she dies.
well, maybe in a
Multiverse.
metaphorical sense, maybe not in a literal sense.
In one of the multiverses, she's dead, and also a cartoon,
And also a rock.
and also runs a
pinata.
laundromat.
Huh?
Hmm?
I kind of think I would be a good laundromat owner type fella.
Yeah.
I feel like I was born to be like a shopkeep or some sort of like.
I've said this many times. You are the happy mask salesman.
I think I could sell some masks.
Yeah.
You have said
Now is
that.
the time
That has such a dark implication though, because it's like, yeah, he's selling things, but like you play Majora's Mask, you're like, well, what the fuck's up with this guy?
Yeah. But he does have the sickest music in all of Zelda.
Yeah,
I stand by that.
I've got no music.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
No.
strictly speaking true, but
No song in your heart, no spring in your step.
I've got a little
Truly. I think you're on a dark path.
I feel like I've been on a great path recently.
No, the path is fine. It's just not well lit.
That is true. It's I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's always nighttime.
It's always nighttime. You don't know where you're going.
My night
no-
vision is not what it used to be. I'm getting
And
old.
nobody wants to join you because it's a dark path.
I'll
But
see if I can get Emmy on
If
the
there
podcast.
if there was some light, might be a nice path.
Emmy, come here. I want
Look
to
at
pick you up.
Cat. Look at this cat.
She's
I
not
can't
on
see
the,
it yet. I can't see it yet, but if I could,
She's here.
wow.
Do you hear?
Look at this cat.
Yeah. Oh, you want to be put down? Okay.
Cat is not hip hop.
She was not super excited to be on the podcast, but she was tolerating it more than I thought she would.
Yeah.
Folks, that was Emmy.
That's kind of a metaphor for our audience. Not excited, but tolerating it more than they should be.
Yeah, that's most people in my life.
Oof.
Oof.
Path just got a little darker.
It's a dark path, man. The dark path of the noble samurai warrior. People always say I'm like the happy mask salesman meets the wandering Ronin. You know,
People are always saying that about you.
They are.
Hmm.
Did somebody? Oh,
My wife is laughing at you.
I don't like that.
She can't hear you, but she knows that you said something stupid.
Yeah.
She could sense it.
I could hear it. I could hear the howling laughter of somebody knowing that I'm being clowned on.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds like you got owned. I'm sorry.
I didn't get that owned.
You got a little owned.
The audience is going to get probably more of a kick out of this than any of the three of us.
I hope so.
Audience, did I get owned enough to warrant that laugh? Vote now on your phones, please.
I think that you did. I've never been that owned, so I can't relate.
I haven't been. I feel terrible. I thought I was having a good day, and now I'm like, man, I guess I should go find myself.
That's what happens when you cause trouble.
What trouble did I cause? All I said was people call me the cross between the Happy Mask Salesman and the. I should Photoshop a little samurai outfit onto the Happy Mask Salesman.
Yeah.
And that could be like my new Twitter picture or something.
It's a good vibe.
That's a good. I mean, that's like kind of iconic, honestly. Many people say I'm iconic.
I can't think of one.
See, that's the classic coach rebuttal of someone will say something and I just pick one word and I say it again, throw a question mark on it.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
That's how you own people.
I think that's all you need. Like I said, I've mastered the word economy.
Economy?
See, there you go. It's now I'm like, shit. Like I could have said that more efficiently. Did I master the word economy? I don't know.
You may have. I guess we'll never know.
No?
I guess we'll never think.
Will?
All
See,
right.
that's it.
All right.
Yeah. Because now you're like, well, then what are we? I don't know. Will I not think?
Is the podcast over? Are we breaking up? Anyway, this is the point. Oh, okay. I guess you're just on TikTok.
No, I was saying a video of a cat eating a steak.
All right.
The sweetie sent me a video. I was really curious as to what it was because she said it was her, and I was like, "Yeah,
This isn't you."
uh,
This is the point in the show where we would talk about crime.
yeah." I was like, "We've killed 45 minutes. Time to talk about the crimes, except there aren't any." How about Amber Heard, though, folks?
Yeah,
more like Amber Turd.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but say a different one that didn't make sense. What about Amber Bird?
Yeah, like how they call D and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia bird.
No, more like how sometimes a bird will shit on your stuff.
Yeah. Okay. What does that look like?
Amber Bird.
I got it. Cool.
That was kind of the whole thing. I kind of
Have you been following that though at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither. So let's give our opinion.
Let's get in depth here. Jonathan Depp? Dude. I don't fuck with you.
Believe women. No, I think the moral of this is that sometimes, like 1% of the time, maybe you don't believe women.
And which percent of that? Who's to say? When do you
It's this
that
one.
1%?
So we got 99 more percents to go before we get another moment where we don't have to believe women.
All right. So it happens in order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how percentages. That's how statistics works. It happens once, and you're like, all right, that was 1 out of 100 chance of happening. So we got 99 chances of it not happening, mathematically.
Yeah, of course.
Emmy, what do you want?
I said this before, but like everyone was all about believe women, and then Edward Scissors is charismatic in court.
And people are like, damn, Johnny Depp's cool.
Damn. Is he wearing, like, he's not wearing sunglasses, but, like, if he was, that would be sick.
That'd be kind of an epic gamer. It is very weird, like, to do fan cams and, like...
Yeah, we talked about this last week, but,
Yeah.
like, they're weird edits. It's weird that there are edits at all, but they're weird edits.
It's just, yeah, I don't, it's... And,
It's
like,
a
because... I hate that I'll see those and I'm like, wow, Amber Heard seems bad. And I'm like, I feel like I'm falling for a trick.
Yeah.
But also like looking at the very little I've read and like the fact that there's so many clips abundantly clowning on Amber Heard. I'm kind of like, well, she still has to be bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like Johnny probably also isn't. Great.
Yeah, I think that it was bad on both sides.
Yeah.
And I hate the whole thing, personally.
I mean, it's none of our business.
Yeah. I did see the take of, like, when was the last time this many men cared about domestic abuse? And, like, yeah. But in response to that take, there was a lot of guys being like, actually, domestic abuse is really bad. Maybe you've heard of it. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we've been saying that for a century. And you, like, just made it illegal to hit women 12 years ago. So
There's a little bit. There's a little bit more time when I did that. But yeah.
like, you just made it illegal to do surgery on an infant without anesthesia in, like, 1987.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe men should shut the fuck up.
Well, there's been like a growing tide of like men being like, actually, sometimes we're abused too.
Yeah.
Which is true. Like I've been
It
in
is.
the position of the emotionally abused dude in the relationship in the
You've
past.
been a Johnny Depp.
I've been a Johnny Depp. I didn't have it as bad as him, but I'm like, and if anybody should be sympathetic to him, it would
everybody.
I'd be.
Am I right, folks?
Folks, true. But, like, I've been in the similar shitty situation. And even then, I'm like, well, Johnny clearly must have also been a little
Yeah.
iffy.
Yeah,
It just seems too easy. And it seems like such a reactionary, like, women suck kind of a vibe where,
yeah.
like, you if you take Johnny's side, you're like, actually, I hate women. That seems to be the counter narrative I've seen in certain corners,
That's kind of the
which is
vibe,
also
like,
stupid. I feel like that's a stupid. I don't. The whole thing's dumb.
it's all dumb. But the
Don't care
vibe
about
I
anything.
get is like when women are like, look at these rape statistics,
Yeah,
and then guys are like, not all men. The people that are saying not all men are the same people that are like, wow, Amber Heard makes women look bad forever. And it's like, you've never looked at a different, yeah, like you've never looked at any case where a man was the abuser, which is the
A lot of them.
majority. I was going to say overwhelming majority, but it's the overwhelming majority of cases that are actually taken to trial.
right. Yeah,
And like, they never look at that, but they're like, wow, women, huh? Seems like you're bad too. Maybe think about that before you claim that 1 in 3 women get raped by men. So that's kind of why I'm mad at people making fan cams where they put.
it is so psychotic to be made. I can't get over it.
It's a lot of people too. It's not just like 2.
They're
psychos.
everywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
they are funny. That's the worst part. I enjoy them.
The problem is that Johnny Depp is owning the lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, the problem is like Johnny Depp is very cool, very charismatic. The lawyer sucks, and he's clowning on him, and like he's clowning on Amber Heard, and all that's very cathartic. And yet, something's not right. I don't know.
The thing is, so it's legally a defamation case, correct? You've corrected me on this.
Yeah.
The thing is that they're trying to defame Johnny Depp by saying that he's an alcoholic, but they're doing it in such a dumb way.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that, like, defame him for it. He sucks. If you did it the right way, you're just doing it wrong.
Sure.
It's like if you're trying to own somebody, but you're just like poorly imitating their voice and saying a thing
the
that
Matt
they
Gay
didn't
Ultra
say.
Twitter account,
Folks.
That's called the Twitter economy, or the word economy of being rude.
I feel like Matt Gay Ultra could be a better lawyer for Amber Heard.
I feel like anybody could. I could be a better lawyer.
Phoenix Wright, call me. I have a job for you. Now that's
Objection.
a crime. Nice. Hearsay.
No, he doesn't say hearsay in the game.
No.
He yells objection.
But in the
Boy, is it satisfying. Boy, does it really just tickle the...
Amber Heard's lawyer is always saying hearsay.
Didn't he say hearsay on himself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He did in fact do that.
On Survivor this week,
okay,
there was a moment that
there's some hearsay at the polls.
There it was okay. So this is a controversial thing happened.
Yeah,
I don't know like the right way of putting it, but basically,
an event, a scandal.
in the previous episode, a black woman was voted out.
Cancel the show.
Well, we're getting there. But she was voted out because she had like betrayed her allies in the pre-merge and is just overall being really shady and just like lying to people for no reason about stuff. And so like everyone voted her out, like easy vote at the merge. She's the first person on the jury, which is where they sit on the little thing and they watch the tribal council and they pick who wins. Context. And then this episode, they split the groups into two, and each group had their own tribal council. So people who might have been voted for, like, because of the weird groupings, like the voting was shifted, and like who they would have originally voted for wasn't because of the new circumstances. So they voted out this another black person in the first one.
Wow.
Because he was like kind of trying to strong arm a dude's alliance and like was not being very receptive to other people's stuff. And in general, like he didn't have a great social game. He was kind of very old. He was an old school Survivor guy in like season 42, which just doesn't really work anymore. I really liked him. I wish they didn't vote him out, but
it's racism for you.
The thing is that everybody else in that group were also all POCs. One guy might not. He's like half white, but like with Puerto Rican ethnicity, half black, I think. So depending on how you count him, it was either all POCs in that tribal or all but one.
That's the same thing they did to my boy Obama. They just voted him out. And honestly,
it's basically exactly the same thing as Obama. And so right now the jury has two black people on it, and they're about to do the next vote out. And the two people who were selected to be voted out both had basically the majority told each one to vote for the other because the other person had idols, which was a stupid thing to do because they realized, oh, wait, like we're both being targeted because we have idols. Like
your idols are your rivals.
Sure.
Famously.
But they both also happen to be black. And so when they get to tribal and see two black people in a row who were voted out, they were like, oh, they both realized they were the targets and one of them was going home if they didn't play their idols. And they're like, oh shit, like this looks bad. Mm-hmm. And so they made a point of saying like, hey, like, there's always a point in Survivor where like all the black people get voted out in a row, which is like kind of true, but with the exception of like they changed the ratios of the ethnicities basically being brought into Survivor starting with the last season. So now it's like it's half white people and half POCs. Like that is a CBS mandated ratio.
Yeah. Imagine getting ratioed by Survivor.
Literally, dude. Literally.
I don't know what that means.
Wow. And then
I got ratioed by Pusha T. Anyway.
They go to the tribal and they're basically like, hey, the optics of this are bad. And then this one white guy who I was rooting for up until this point was like, what are you saying? We're racist for like white to vote you out, which is bad. And then I don't want to say I get where he's coming from, but it does suck to be like, this is my plan that's just now being completely derailed because you pointed out the optics of how it looks. And if you're in good faith, not voting anybody out for any particular subconscious bias reason, and I don't know if you are or not,
Yeah.
but assuming you are, it does suck to be like, well, now I can't do that plan because you just pointed like if you said, hey, the optics of this are bad and we'd go vote you out anyway, like I'm going to be eaten alive on social media for being racist, which I may or may not be.
Yeah. And either way,
then
you don't want that.
At one point, one of the women who was the target to be voted out, like, was talking about something, and she said she wasn't being aggressive, and the same guy was like, you are being aggressive. And I was like, oh, no, you do not tell a black woman she's being aggressive. That's bad.
You didn't get classy, did he?
Hello. I'm being spied on.
Yeah.
And then eventually the two black women played their own idols on themselves so they couldn't be voted for at all. As like, they're like, we don't want people to think that we're not being voted out tonight because we played the race card. And I was like, man, the Twitter on like the Survivor subreddit is going to be super duper normal.
There's a buzz with this stuff.
And they were, I don't think nobody had the right take, which I think is, it's very valid to be upset about the, like, thinking it's going to look bad, like, and be, as like a, not that I'm a black person, but like if I understand the seeing two black people in a row on the jury and then being like, oh, like, I don't want to perpetuate that. And then I also understand sort of not as much, but like sitting there and going, oh, like, I'm going to look racist now if I don't play ball, even though that wasn't my original game plan. You know?
I know exactly what you mean.
I feel like you're not even listening.
My wife is very distracting, but I was listening. I do get it. Do you want to say something?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Also,
Yeah.
did you know that you're matching today?
We discussed,
Did you
yeah.
Was this a planned effort?
Yeah.
No. We just
What
like
is your-
pink.
Your shirt has a beaver on it. What is it?
No, it's not a beaver. It's a skeleton going
Oh, I thought it
inside.
said
And it's just
Inside beaver.
it says inside forever, outside never, and then it has something in Japanese, which I don't know what it says.
It's a Bo Burnham shirt.
And then
Oh, that's sick.
no, it's not a Bo Burnham shirt. And then it says on the sleeve, because the sleeve says something. It says "Stay Inside Club."
Nice.
Yeah, we love the
Did
indoors.
Kid Squid show you his frog on a skateboard?
I did.
Yeah,
I have a
It's a
frog
cool
on a
shirt.
skateboard. Thank you.
Pretty cool, right?
it is pretty cool.
Thank you for your contributions
Wow, on the actual episode too.
on the episode, on the day.
Wow, we're gonna have to say featuring.
Featuring guest host. Yeah, I get what you're talking about with Survivor.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's a difficult situation. I've been in a similar situation.
Really?
Not really.
Yeah,
The thing where like I can't say what I want to, not because I'm being rude in that way, but it will come across that way. It was a long time ago, like 10 years ago.
hmm
But there's a woman that I worked with that I wanted to call dumb in a joking manner because they did something stupid. And I was going to call them Dumbo because that's fun, but they're also overweight, and that's a completely different connotation
Yeah.
to call them a famous elephant when actually I'm just saying that you're...
Yeah, but Dumbo's a little baby elephant.
Yeah, but he is also an elephant.
That's okay. I see what you're saying.
So
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So it's a thing where, like, I'm not allowed to say this because it's going to come across the wrong way, but I have no ill intentions in that regard.
You have ill intentions in a different regard.
Yeah.
And calling her stupid.
It was playful.
Just call her a bozo.
I don't remember what I ended up saying, but I didn't say Dumbo. I may have said Ding Dong.
It's a good one.
I don't know. It was 10 years ago. I may have been in my Ding Dong phase.
I don't know. Like, if I was in that position, I don't know what I would do other than, like, not say anything. But I'd probably be like, oh, I wanted to vote this person out because they had an idol. But
yeah.
And if they didn't play, because they're like, we don't want to be seen as playing the race card, so we played the immunity idols. And people on Reddit were like, wow, I can't believe they played the race card. I'm like, come on. You guys were clearly not listening at all.
I think they were going to say that irregardless of what happened.
True. Because it cuts both ways, because the guy who was like vocally like overly defensive about like being perceived as racist and like agreed with called the other woman aggressive. Like, people were like, wow, he is super racist. I'm like, he's probably like he's from Alabama. Like
he's the normal amount racist.
Not to defend him, but it's like watching the thing, they have a conversation about it, and he kind of is like more, I think he crossed he made a step towards being less bad. Yeah. I think there's something there. I don't know. It's like, I think
life's all about taking steps.
You can't not take, well, that's very ableist of you, actually. What if you're in a wheelchair? You fucking sicko.
It's a metaphor.
Well, it's a ableist metaphor.
I mean, you're saying in a wheelchair you can't be in the 12-step program?
You're not stepping. You're in the 12-wheel program, baby.
It's only 2 wheels. 4 wheels.
Well, it's 12 rotation program. You do 12 good rotations on your wheelchair, and then you're there. And you're probably going farther, because I imagine you get a little bit more distance covered.
I personally think that anyone in a wheelchair is not disabled, and they can do everything that an able-bodied person can do.
Oh, no.
I'm in trouble.
No.
I'm in trouble. I think everyone is equal and beautiful in their own way.
No.
That's a nice thought.
That's a nice thought.
Okay. What are you talking about?
We're talking about racism.
We're talking about racism.
And you
Kind
said
of.
everyone in a wheelchair can do everything anyone could ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, and they know that they're disabled. And
They're differently abled.
They're disabled.
Differently abled.
Why? Why?
What do you mean why? This
is woke boy crimes.
But I don't know. I've been told to just say that they're disabled and recognize that they can't do everything.
Look, they're disabled. That's fine, and I'm not going to do anything about it.
Everything's fine. I think everyone is wonderful in their own way.
Mm.
Look, I can't win the Olympics the way Michael Phelps can, but we're both able-bodied individuals.
Well,
just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you're different or worse.
No, you are different, but you're not worse.
I wouldn't say they're different.
Everybody's different from each other. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, we're gonna end the episode.
I ruined it that much.
Yeah.
I think this has been great. I've just been sitting back.
Nancy canceled.
Yeah, you're canceling me live on the episode.
This is so weird.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I've been assaulted. Can you stop assaulting me?
Sounds like you're a salty. Huh?
It's on record. Been on record. I've been struck again. Good night, everybody.
Good night.